Greetings. Everything has its origin, beginning in the mind. And that is why understanding Genesis is very important because it is you understanding the origin of everything. It is you understanding how everything starts with a thought or an idea. In other words, everything was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagine, it was first in someone's mind, which means the secret of creation is from the invisible to the visible. So everything is created twice. That is why when you read the book of Genesis or the book of the beginning or the origin, you will realize it's all about multiplication. It's all about taking from the unseen and making it seen. It's a form of multiplication. And so, when it tells you that God spake certain things into being, like out of darkness, he called light. And it tells you that it takes 6 days for God to create these things. It is teaching you that there's a lot of gestation that will take place. Or you have a thought or an idea, or you have something in your mind that you like to create, that you would like to make it a reality in this three-dimensional physical world. Because when it's first an idea in your mind, it is in the world of the invisible. That is why Genesis starts off by saying, in the beginning, God. Which is showing you everything starts from the invisible because God represents the invisible. And because you have your invisible self communicate through thought forms. And those thought forms comes from energy, our consciousness. And that energy, it vibrates at certain frequencies. So there's a frequency of abundance. So to come into the genesis of abundance is to understand how the mind works. Understanding the law of mentalism is your genesis to abundance. That is where attracting abundance in your life and working with the law of attraction becomes a conscious reality in your life because you can now create consciously, not unconsciously, but consciously because of knowing, because of what? Knowledge. But the knowledge will never become knowing unless you put it to work. That is why you're told not to be foolish by being just a hearer. It's only when you become a doer. Because if you only dwell on the hearing and not on the doing, you're like a man who behold himself in a mirror and go away and forget what man of man he is. That is you putting your creative, innovative powers to be in a place whereby it's dormant and it's no good. And that will cause you to live a life of mediocrity. It will cause you to live a life that is unproductive. But when you start to understand that thoughts become things and we become what we think about, and you start to understand that the material that was used to create everything that you can behold, you can see, taste, touch, smell, the material that was used was invisible. It was not tangible. It was the intangible. But there is a metamorphosis that normally takes place. There's a transmutation. And when you start to understand how to transmute that energy, then you start to understand your creativity. You start to understand your creative ability. You start to understand your anatomy. You start to understand your physiology and your biology. You start to understand how it is your own thoughts that's creating your reality and creating your personality. And you fully understand that physical fact will definitely create a psychological state, which means a psychological state can definitely create a physical fact. So my brother and my sisters, when you read about Genesis, you have to understand for there be a book that says Genesis, it have to first be in the mind. So the mind is the ultimate place where all form of creation, all form of innovation, all discovery, all greatness, all wisdom, the all in all, your God sense, your God consciousness, your God awareness, everything come where? From the mind. So everything is mental, everything is psychological. So I'm saying to you, every doorway to abundance is within you. Therefore, you have the potential to be whatever you want to be in this world. So if there's an abundance in life, it's because you're blocking it. You're the only one who can block your blessing, block your abundance, block your greatness. Do you realize that greatness is in you? Do you realize that you've been placed here to work your creative magic, which is living from your magical self, your creative self, your innovative self, your God self, to display God on this planet? And it's only when you start to live in your fullness, you're actually doing the work of God. So my brother, my sisters, there's no place in God for scarcity and mediocrity and having a poverty or a lack mentality. Be living in an abundant world. But you have to understand that it's an illusionary world. This whole construct that you're beholding is an illusion. You are the reality. So it's very important for you to know that your real identity is definitely your divinity, and that is your passport to all abundance and prosperity. The genesis of abundance is saying that everything originates in the mind. The origin of everything is within you. Let me say that again. The origin of everything is within you. Everything lies in consciousness. Your pure consciousness. That's who you are. Get rid of all other identity. Because I'm speaking from experience. Because this knowledge can never be known intellectually. It must be only by experience. So I'm saying to you, my brother, my sisters, put your magical powers to work. Use your mind. Learn to think. Exercise your mind. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day. Find the time to read. Find the time to meditate. Find the time to visualize. Find the time to affirm. Find the time to write down your desire and read it over. It might only take you just about, say, 10 minutes. So my brother, my sisters, everything is within you. Take advantage of this knowledge by making it your everyday lifestyle of creating. Do it, and you will find for yourself that the Creator is within you. Therefore, the genesis of all abundance begins with you. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it really makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. Also want to encourage you to get my latest book. It is called The Secret Vagina. Okay, I was about to say Spiritual Recipe for Better Living, but that was a book from last year. Okay, but for this year, my brand new book that I've been uploading around the 25th of December is called The Secret Vagina, Mystery of the Virgin Birth. You see, if you understand the virgin birth, if you really truly understand the Immaculate Conception, you will understand what I would have just said there in that video concerning how you're going to bring forth. You're going to give birth to your things, to things that people refer to as your brainchild. That's a birth that doesn't take the instrumentality of the physical organ of a man and a woman, but instead it takes the psychological and the spiritual to bring an impregnation and bring forth. That's what I want you to really understand more fully. Okay, so if you really understand that story, it will help you to understand the Bible more better psychologically. In other words, metaphysically, you see. So I'm definitely encouraging you to get that book. Also, I'm encouraging you to get all of my work by checking out all of the links that are down below. Also, I've just started a course for beginners. It's called Specialized Bible Study for Abundance and Prosperity. It's a crash course so people just begin and want to learn more about the Bible, and I'm giving them the foundational teachings, and from there I'm gonna continue, just keep posting and that particular Patreon. Okay, and for those who wanna always get into the teachings and get the teachings that I'll be doing, whereby we actually going into the Bible and studying it and breaking it down and explaining it more better for you. Okay, there's a fee that goes with it monthly if you want to be a part of my Free Thinkers and Seekers University. Okay, and you can study the Bible for 6 months with me. You can study the Bible for 1 year with me, and in turn you can turn around and teach these things. How people should really understand the Bible more from a metaphysical and psychological standpoint, more from an esoteric standpoint. Because you cannot tell people to get rid of the Bible. You're going to just teach them how they should really understand it to make sense to them. Okay, but it must always be that there is no God outside of yourself. Everything is within. The kingdom of God is within you. So as I come to close, my brother and my sister, I just want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say peace, love you all. I'm out.